go from here? Because there seems to be, the president himself signed a supplementary budget for this, but still there's no respite.
I'm just wondering why you are excusing Joy from politics, and she's doing tough politics, you know.
As a rate of fuel is based on facts. This is not about politics.
Trevor, I think we need really to relook at the way our petroleum business is structured. Because at the top of this petroleum business, we have our multinationals who do not have any interest in our country. They will do anything. Their only interest is to make profit. They make profit and siphon it back to their countries. We have seen that things that they have done. What is happening right now is that the multinationals are arm twisting the government because their policies that they want to have changed. So they want to ground this country so that their policies can be put in place. And this is something that our country should resist with the strongest force that they can. The fuel that we have shortage, it's in their tanks, in their depots, but they are refusing to release it until the government is twisted to agree with some of the changes that they want. And they started slowly, you know, putting things in place, you know. And if we don't change this now, they can ground this country like they want to do it with this.
What changes do they want?
Fuel shortage. Just like what he said, is this subsidy,
yeah,
the fund that is created. If you remember in the old days, before this program was before that fund was put in place, yeah, the multinationals would decide how they want to sell their products. They would wake up today, they increase the fuel, 2 days later they increase, and when the international barrel prices go down, they never used to go down. They never used to decrease the pump prices. And that this is where the government came in with this subsidy program, so that IPRA, which was then had another name, would now regulate the prices of fuel so that we do not have, because if you do not control the prices of fuel, that affects every other business, every other price of product is affected by the fuel prices. And that is why now the controls came in. Unlike any other sector of the economy where we have a free economy where people sell according to the market forces, this was disallowed by the government because of the effect it has on the other sectors. Now, if we do not control our multinationals, they will twist the government. It is very, very sad, because if you get into the intricacies of how they do business, unlike other areas where we have manufacturers, we have wholesalers, we have retailers, the multinationals would like to do everything. And they have even actually killed the other people who are involved. The dealers who we have running petrol stations are hanging on a string because all their profit has been eaten by multinationals. The time has come when our ministry has to put the foot down and make sure that the multinationals are regulated and are working according to our laws.
Yeah.
They may be controlling a lot of money in our economy.
Yeah.
But this country belongs to Kenyans. It does not belong to the multinationals. I am very, very sad that sometimes they go into even infringing into rights of people they have employed.
Okay.
I know some companies who are having a program they call a young dealership program, where they say that they are helping Kenyans to build their business.
Yeah.
So they help them to save a few cents of what they are supposed to make in their program. But every time they see like these people are almost succeeding, they make sure that they eat into their product. They eat into their profits so that they do not succeed. So I think we need to have people who will look closely into these multinationals.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they are going to become giants that can even damage the economy of our country. People who can stop the development of our country.
Okay. Honorable Mulu, is this a case of sabotage or poor planning?
I think a combination of both.
Yeah.
You know, Trevor, if you look at what is happening, is that, as my colleague Njomo is saying, the issue of multinationals, I think there is to some extent I can see some arrangement of a cartel. You know, they are not very many, and they can easily sit on a round table like this one and agree on how to make sure that they control the market. So what has happened is, even though they are it's not a one multinational, but they have a bit of monopolistic kind of behavior. because they know they control the market and they control what a large share of the market. They can actually even engage in holding, and I think that's what I'm saying now. Like you are saying, that would be sabotage, where they sit and agree, let's order our stock in our depots so that we starve the market from the supply side. Because what happens is that then the price will have to go up. But on the side of planning, I think the government must also take part of this blame. You know, we have what we call the Fuel Stabilization Fund. And it has been in the papers, it's public knowledge, that there has been misapplication on part of these funds, which are supposed to make sure that when the prices of fuel go beyond what is expected in terms of the market price, then the government comes in to support, to ensure that prices don't really end up adding Kenyans. So, Trevor, I think as a government, we also need to get it right in terms of planning. For example, you saw yesterday after signing of the supplementary budget, the government had to pump addition about 34 billion. So we stabilize our prices, more so the pump prices, because that's where the problem is. So I see both cases that in terms of our planning, those who are in this industry from the government side need to get their acts together so that they are able to project well the demand side of this equation, so that they can say in the next 5 months, this kind of, in terms of fuel, this is what we require. For us to have that kind of demand met, this is the level of subsidies we require to as a government. So that even at the level of even budgeting, you factor in the right amounts. Because like now, when you look at what is happening, the reason why some of them are not able to supply is because the government owes them billions of shillings, which they have not been paid. And they are saying, pay us, then we buy fuel and we put it in the market. Which means that there has been that gap, and I think that's why we're getting it wrong. That if we had approved our supplementary budget earlier as a government, then it means they will have not, that gap where they are saying we can't supply, and then we don't have the product, will not be there. So it will have been a kind of a smooth running of the industry. And basically that's what we really need to get, so that it's a combination of both. The government takes part of the blame, but I think the multinationals also, the issue of holding, to me, that's sabotage of the economy. I should not be allowed.